It's only been 3 months since I've actually made the big reveal of my classroom redesign, but I can already tell a tremendous impact that it has made in my classroom. Not much has changed in a classroom since the 1900s. Classrooms are still facing forward, very similar to how you guys are seated, facing the teacher, and the teacher is still in the front of the room. So in order to prepare our students for their future careers, classrooms really do need to shift to the 21st century learning practices. So for my research project, I focused on whether or not implementing a classroom redesign using the digital and interactive learning spaces that I've created would increase student engagement and learning. Research shows that classrooms designed for active learning spaces have a positive impact on student engagement, and intentionally designing spaces provides for more effective teaching and learning. I actually began my classroom redesign journey many years ago whenever I first became a teacher, and I walked into my classroom full of desks that are inclined, mainly made for writing and lecture. They were all facing forward, and of course I have my desk and I'm at the front of the room. So fast forward to 2016, slowly I was able to grab extra chairs and extra desks from the classrooms around that had extra, and my classroom slowly changed into what I would want it to be. For my project, I was able to incorporate other types of seating and other types of desks into my class. I was able to get stand-up tables with stools, larger tables, like the circle table and a large rectangle table. I was able to bring in yoga balls, soft cushions, I guess not soft, but they're plastic blow-up cushions. And on all of my writing surfaces, except for the few brown desks that I still needed to keep in my classroom, I painted whiteboard paint on top of them. So the students were able to write on top of their desks. I was fortunate enough to also receive a classroom set of Chromebooks, and with another grant that I had written, I was able to get iPads and an Apple TV brought into my classroom. But after seeing those impacts that I had with the technology, I wanted to design more different spaces into my classroom. So I started remodeling, and with the help of my husband, we were able to take out a full wall full of lockers out of my room and replace it with a whiteboard. I took an entire wall of bulletin board off. We had to chisel down the glue and the wood that was there since probably the 60s. And he put a fresh coat of paint on the wall. And he also built a bench that I used for our library books, and the students were able to sit on the bench or on the floor on the rug to do their work. So once I made the big classroom reveal, you can see here students are working together. They're working on their iPads. They're up. They're moving around. They can choose to stand at the tables, or they can sit at the stools, or they can sit at some lower level stools that I have. They were able to use their desks to write on top, and they were able to use the iPads to use the camera and show their work on our TV screen that we have. You can flip it. So at the beginning of my project, I gave them a survey. If you can go back one. And also gave them a survey at the end. Oh, it must have skipped it. It's okay. Go on. The slide, oh, no, it's there. I'm sorry. The first question is about technology. And I just compiled a list of the students that agreed or strongly disagreed with, or strongly agreed with the question. The first question was, we use technology to help us learn. Of course, they agreed that we already done that because I already have that type of technology in my classroom. So the pre and the post surveys were the same. The second question was, I use technology to share the information that I've learned. So from the beginning of my project and throughout, we used the technology to share. We used iPads to share it wirelessly throughout the room on our TV screen, or we shared it within our Google Classroom online. Flip it. The next set of questions focused on critical thinking. The first question was, I apply what I already know in order to make new ideas or products. We did some of that before, but by the end, all of the students agreed that that was something that we did within our classroom. The second question, I summarized what I've learned and create a persuasive argument based on evidence. In the beginning, as a teacher, that was something that I struggled with, and I had to find more activities and lessons to bring in. And by the end of my project, that is something that we do consistently in our classroom. The students are able to collaborate together to contribute to a team to produce a product, and they're able to work in pairs and groups to complete tasks. We also worked with our communication skills, how to deliver presentations to the teachers or other students within the classroom. And then within our activities, we brought in more group work so that the students were able to do more individualized discussions with a small group. And we also focused on our creativity. This was the fun part in the classroom. The students really enjoyed creating their own works and using that to talk with the other groups. And within my classroom, we post those or hang those creative works around the room. So the room is really, it's their room. It's decorated with their stuff. So what I've realized after I've analyzed all of the work that we've done is that some things we've already done the technology stuff, but the other things we needed to focus on, like the other 21st century skills, such as the critical thinking, the communication, the collaboration, and the creativity. The students used their creative minds more, but overall they were more engaged with the lessons, and they even retain the information better. A lot of times they talk about the different activities that we do, which tells me that they enjoyed it and they're retaining that information much better. And what I've realized throughout this journey is that it's not just going out and purchasing a new desk and painting it with whiteboard paint, but it really starts with the teacher. The teacher has to change their mindset and the way that they perceive their classroom and the way that they should teach. Because without that, a desk is just a desk. So it's what the teacher does with that desk that makes the learning more effective. And that is all. So if you have any questions. All right, thank you.